Hello, my dear IELTS friends. Today I am going to share with you very important few tips for your IELTS success through this short video. You know how IELTS exam is important for the success of your migration dream. Whether it is higher education, whether it is your employment, so whatever, without IELTS success, you can't make your migration dream success. So today, I am going to share with you very important few tips for your success. Actually, those tips I would like to share as a 2 steps. First step, I want to tell that some tips you have to follow before you decide exact exam date. That is your pre-preparation. And another set of tips I want to share with you after you decide your exam date. So what kind of tips you have to follow? Right. First we'll see some tips related to your pre-preparation period. Number 1. So what you have to do as number 1, you have to improve your grammar knowledge as well as vocabulary as much as possible during this pre-preparation period. So if you have any source of English grammar books or grammar lessons or whatever the tunes you collected from your past classes, you have to collect those and you have to study those grammar lessons. Especially, I would like to advise you when you are improving your grammar lessons, mainly focus on tenses, under tenses, active voice, passive voice, be verbs, simple be verbs, complex be verbs, as well as modal verbs applications. So those are some areas you have to basically improve to support your IELTS exam. In addition to that, you have to improve your vocabulary. That is very much important. Try to study more words and try to use those words, apply those words, learn those words. That's very much important. So when you are improving your vocabulary, my special guidance is you have to look at, in addition to your general vocabulary, try to improve your vocabulary related to some special subjects such as economics, management, or biological science, or maybe agriculture, or maybe social science. So, but you should not bother about some subject areas like medicine, dental, accounting. Those areas you should not bother. That is my first guidance. Why I give this guidance? One of the key criteria of that IELTS 4 modules is your grammar range, accuracy of your grammar, as well as your vocabulary. Second tip, that after you start your preparation, it is very much important you have to understand the exam structure. You understand how exam organized, how is the structure of the exam, how it's going on. So what is the first subject, what is the second subject, what is the third subject, listening, reading, writing, then separate date, you have to go for the speaking. That basic understanding you have to get. So those understanding will develop your confidence about this exam. Third point, you have to understand different question types coming under each question paper. Maybe listening, reading, writing, speaking, what kind of question types you have to face. You have to study on those question types. That is my third step. Fourth tip is you have to think about your workload planning. So what kind of work you have in your home, in your office, and you have to plan those works and think about how you are going to manage those work till exam date comes. That is the fourth tips I want to share with you. My last tip is, now you have to take a decision based on your confidence and based on the band score requirement. You have to take a decision on your exam date. That is very much important. Now you decide your exam date and think about how you are going to face this exam. Whether you are going to do a self-study or whether you are following a class. So that's what you have to decide during this pre-preparation period. Right. Now see what kind of preparation you have to do after you decide the exam date. So what you have to do? You start with doing some online resources. You have to use the online resources. Look at online resources. Try to understand how questions are. Check, answer those questions, check your correction rates, understand the depth of those questions, understand the different question types. That is very much important to get some kind of a good understanding of the depth of these different kind of questions coming under all 4 modules. With the listening or with the reading or with the writing or with the speaking, you should have some kind of understanding of the insides of the question. That is the one step. The second tip is follow a good class. So I strongly advise my YouTube viewers, so you have to follow a good class if you need to achieve a high band score. But if you are going to achieve a low band score, maybe 6 or below 6, sometimes that you can do a good self-study and succeed this exam. But I strongly advise listening and reading, you can do by your own. But writing and speaking, it is very much important. You have to get the advices of a good IELTS teacher for your success. My next tip is you have to get the support of very good advisor and make your answers corrected from him and see what are your mistakes and try to make those changes according to his or her guidance. That is the very important thing. Then another important thing is, after you decide your exam date, you have to allocate minimum 2 to 3 hours per day for your IELTS studies. So that is very much important. So if you are not in a position to allocate 2 to 3 hours per day for your IELTS exam, that is a big problem. It is very much important. It means per week you have to allocate minimum 15 hours for your studies for a certain maximum 3 month of period. Within 3 months you can do. Within 3 months. This kind of allocation is very much important. So my next tip is, if you follow a class, it's really good, but your exam date you should fix after 7 to 10 days of the finishing of your class. Assume that you finish your class on the 15th of a month, 15th day at the middle of the month. Definitely you have to do the exam before the end of that month. It means you should not take long time for the exam after finishing your class or after finishing the guidance you get from your examiner. That is very much important. Otherwise, if you break this, definitely it's affect your results. Maybe your results drop maybe some points in every module. So my final final tip is, if you are doing the exam, it is very much important that your exam preparation period, not the pre-preparation, that very close to the exam period, you should manage all your family commitment, all your personal commitment and all your professional commitment under well control. Especially exam date, when you are going to the exam, you should make a well settle your family. That is very much important. Then you completely, psychologically, you are in the exam mentality. That is very much important. Again, finally, when you are traveling to the exam center, you should not be a driver of your vehicle. It is very dangerous. Why? If you drive your vehicle, your exam mentality will break time to time based on the traffic problems in the roads. So it is not good. You have to move to the exam center in very free mind and sit at the exam center for the success of this exam. That is my last tip for your success. I hope this video will help you to get some idea on the practical understanding on how you can make a well preparation for the IELTS success. Okay, thank you very much for listening this very short video, and I wish you all the best for your IELTS dreams in future. Thank you very much.